dental care. Dr. Levie and Dr. Bond talked about all the horrible things that can happen if we don't take care of our cat and dog's mouths at home. So why do we care so much about it? It's more than just bad breath, as we've already heard, although that's the thing that brings a lot of people in to our office. They smell the bad breath. I consider home dental care to actually be holistic. Even though I've spent a great portion of my career pulling out many bad teeth out of cat and dog mouths, I would much rather see my clients take good care of their pet's mouth at home so that we don't get to a point where we're actually having to remove a lot of infected teeth and clean up that mouth. I do practice alternative medicine, and I understand how if we take care of an animal's mouth, we're going to have an overall healthier, happier pet. So I do consider home dental care to be a very important part of being a responsible pet parent, just as important as choosing a very healthy diet and paying attention to good nutrition for your pet, and also making sure that your pet stays a healthy body weight and gets enough exercise so that you avoid behavior issues and that they have a very good quality of life and can live as long as possible. I do feel that if you are brushing your dog or your cat's teeth on a regular basis, you're in their mouth all the time, you're going to be a lot more likely than somebody else to recognize a problem very early, that you can bring your pet in to see your veterinarian if you notice something that looks like a broken tooth or bleeding gums or a loose tooth, or gosh forbid, maybe even a tumor or a mass in an animal's mouth. You'll notice it a lot sooner than somebody else, and maybe we can actually do something about it. And you all are here working on training with your dog, so you are working on socialization, and regular toothbrushing will help lead to a more well-socialized dog overall. The best time to start trying to introduce the idea of home dental care to your cat or dog is when your pet is a baby. Puppies and kittens, we advise our clients to start trying to brush their teeth even when they just still have their baby teeth, the deciduous teeth. It's just to get the pet used to us handling their mouths. The equipment that you'll need to get started, we recommend and carry the Verbac line of products. They make the CET toothpaste. It's made especially for cats and dogs, so you'd never want to use toothpaste made for humans. We need to use a toothpaste that's safe for cats and dogs to swallow. And this product is meat flavored. Chicken is probably the most popular. It's very palatable. You'll need either a finger brush, hopefully some gauze, and maybe even a full-size toothbrush. When to actually try to do this? We recommend, I think as Dr. Kudre mentioned earlier tonight, we recommend that you brush your pet's teeth every day. That's the best way to go about it. It actually becomes part of your daily routine. It should take less than 5 minutes out of your day once you get it down. At the very least 3 times a week. Any less than that is probably not going to do a whole lot. We very proudly have a lot of clients tell us that their groomer brushes the dog's teeth, but that's once every 6 weeks, something like that. That would be like us brushing our teeth once every 6 weeks. It's really not doing anything. So you want to go slow and pack your patience when you introduce this new idea to your pet, for sure. You want to introduce the idea of toothbrushing when both you and your pet are nice and calm and relaxed. So new puppy owners know that puppies have periods of time when they're in puppy frenzy mode. That absolutely would not be the time to try to do anything like this. So, after he's worn out and kind of calm and relaxed, then you can start working on this. These are just some ideas or reminders of other things that can help calm your pet. Feel Away is a great product from a behavior standpoint. There's also something very similar made for dogs called Adaptil, and they're synthetic pheromone diffusers that help calm pets. So for whatever reason, they're very helpful. Lavender essential oils are very calming. So how do you actually go about brushing your dog's teeth? You would want to begin by just actually rubbing the outside of the animal's face and just getting them used to having their face touched. And then you would use just your fingers with nothing on them to actually go into the dog's mouth and start touching their teeth and rubbing their teeth and gums and getting them used to that. Let them taste the toothpaste. The toothpaste is extremely palatable. They usually really love it. It's like a treat or a reward to them. And then you can wrap a piece of gauze around your finger and start rubbing the outer surfaces of the teeth and put a little dab of toothpaste on the gauze. Eventually, you may want to progress to using an actual finger brush or a full-size toothbrush. Some people stay with just the gauze, or I have one client who used a washcloth for years, and her 10-year-old Yorkie has beautiful teeth, believe it or not. One thing I see a lot of people fail is when I ask them about this in the exam room and they show me, they demonstrate how they've been trying to go about this at home, they're trying to force the dog's mouth open and they're getting a lot of resistance from the dog, and everything starts to go south, and then they throw up their hands, they say, forget it, this isn't happening, it's a big struggle. So I try to tell people not to do that. So these are just some images that show just the first stages. We're not trying to force the dog's mouth open. We don't have any toothbrush or anything, just our bare hands touching the surface of the tooth and getting the dog used to the idea of us being in his or her mouth. A dog and a cat, the same steps. Initially, all the way over on the left, just touching and rubbing the outside of the face and getting them used to that, then actually getting in the mouth with your fingers. And in these pictures, they've skipped over the portion where I would use a piece of gauze, but they've progressed to using a full-size toothbrush on the cat and the dog. Here, this image is showing the back of the mouth, which is the area that I always tell all of my clients you want to focus on that part of the mouth first, because that is where I see all of the disease, the worst disease happening. And if the pet is still being cooperative after that, then we can try to get the canine teeth and the incisors clean in the front of the mouth, but we want to start back there. This person's using a finger brush on the incisors and the canines in the front of the mouth. A little Italian greyhound who they typically have very bad teeth, very bad dental disease. This little guy looks like he's being pretty cooperative for a full-size toothbrush all the way in the back of the mouth, where typically you're going to see big problems. So that's great. Now, if you've tried and your pet really will not allow toothbrushing, there are other options. So we always think of brushing as the best possible thing. If you can't do that, there is an oral rinse made by Verbac, CET oral rinse that has chlorhexidine in it. It has another ingredient in there to help freshen the breath. And I believe it's like a citrus flavor. You have to use it multiple times a day. There's also chews made by the same company for cats and dogs to help clean the teeth. And the chewing action actually helps clean the surface of the tooth, keeps the gums healthy. It's also great, I think, from a behavior standpoint, that as dog owners, you know, if we don't give them appropriate things to chew on, they're going to find something else, like our furniture or our body parts to chew on. So this is the Verbac oral rinse product. It has a nice little nozzle attachment that you're going to squeeze the bottle and it's going to squirt into the corner of their mouth, and then a tongue action is actually going to move the oral rinse around their mouth and help clean the teeth. These are the chews that Verbac makes. On the left is the cat product, and on the right is the dog product, and we have some of the products here with us tonight. The cat product is only one size. My cat loves them. They're kind of funny looking, they're big. Somebody once told me they were designed to be the approximate size of a mouse. Not really sure if that's how accurate that is, but the dog product comes in multiple different sizes depending on the size of the dog. Other options, I've had some people come back to me and say, I tried those Verbac chews and he didn't like them and he won't let me brush, he won't let me rinse. So what else can we do? I have seen over the years that dogs that do chew on a lot of rawhide, or if they chew on a lot of deer antlers, they do a lot of chewing, it does help their teeth a lot. The Nylabone product, I tell my clients I don't really recommend it because I have seen a lot of dogs break their big molars on that product, unfortunately. But really, any of these products, I tell people you really have to monitor your dog while he or she has the piece of rawhide or the deer antler. They can get into trouble with just about anything if you leave them alone. This is just a picture of a dog having a good time chewing on actually a raw turkey neck. But the idea is just you gotta let them chew, you gotta give them appropriate things to chew on. A big retriever roll of rawhide, that's what I usually tell my clients to get. and about 30 minutes once a day in the evening when you're there, and you can kind of keep an eye on them, make sure they're not trying to break off large pieces to swallow, because that's where a lot of people get nervous about rawhide. They think, oh, you know, it's gonna get obstructed in his bowel and he's gonna need surgery. But I think if we're careful about it and go about it the right way, it can be a great tool to help their teeth. And on the right is the deer antler product, which I actually really like better than rawhide. It does cost more. But I've had some clients that either they hunt or they go for a walk in the woods with their kids and they get some deer antlers for free. So, you know, and potentially it could be maybe even better for an animal. We see more and more food allergy problems. So, you know, that might be better for an animal with food allergies. Rope toys, you know, I think they potentially help clean teeth too. Other options, Hill's Science Diet makes a prescription formula food. We brought some bags of it here so you can see it tonight. It's called TD. And I don't think we ever really sell it or recommend it as the sole diet for anybody, but we advise people to use it as a treat to help clean the dog's teeth or the cat's teeth. Very, very palatable. They love it. Greenies, most people have heard of. Dentistics, most people have heard of. All of these things have calories. That's my biggest word of caution, because we see many, many obese animals, and we're always battling that. So if you have a conversation with your veterinarian about weight, you want to make sure you tell them about, because sometimes when I pull out, I get all the information out of somebody about how many Dentistics a day the dog is eating. It's crazy. And also we see more and more pets with food allergies too. So, you know, you have to be careful with these products. Again, if your dog's having skin problems, or you're talking to your veterinarian about special diets, you want to make sure you tell them about everything you're feeding. The Hill's Science Diet, TD diet, just a little image that shows you how it's been specifically designed to help clean the surface of the tooth. Dentistics on the left and the greenies on the right, really, really popular products. The dogs love them. My cat loves the cat greenies. Oh, and cats have teeth too. You know, that's nobody wants to know about that, because you know, cats are a little bit more resistant to the idea of brushing their teeth, and we wish they would brush their own teeth, but that's not going to happen. So even though this is a dog training facility, probably a lot of you have cats at home or might be thinking about getting a cat. It could be worse. It's not a wild animal. I know it sounds horrible, the idea of brushing a cat's teeth, but there's worse things. This picture here, they're using just a piece of gauze on the cat's teeth, and that may be all you want to do. You may not want to progress past that point. The way that this person is gently restraining the top of the cat's head is perfect, that they're allowing the lower jaw to freely open and close, and they just have their fingers on those big cheekbones. And just a couple more images. On the left, they're using, I think, a finger brush, and on the right, maybe like a washcloth. Again, they're getting into the back of the mouth where the molars are, gently restraining them, not a big fight. At our hospital, all of our technicians are trained for the puppy and kitten visits. Our protocol is to teach all of our clients how to brush their puppy or kitten teeth, and we do give everybody a free starter kit, toothpaste, toothbrush, some dental information. But if I have a client come in with a newly adopted adult pet from the shelter, I'd be more than happy to try to go over with them how to brush their new pet's teeth, even as an adult dog, because it's never too late to teach an old dog new tricks.